Gym and Baseball for Africa program has helped us empower the kids in making sure that they're well equipped so that they can get the program going. It's a grassroots program, but supported by the Baseball for Africa program with Jim as its head.
For decades, Jim Tamarack told people that when he retired from his work as a zoologist, he would move to Africa and teach baseball.
I'm Jim Tamarack, and I had the fortune of coming to Kenya 20 years ago with a bag of sporting equipment that was baseballs. Baseball, bats, helmets, catcher's mitts, all of that. And I was looking for the opportunity to teach baseball in Africa.
In 2004, Jim and his companion Cheryl decided to move to Africa, rent a safari vehicle, and drive for 100 days through numerous African countries. The plan was for Cheryl to take wildlife photographs and for Jim to hop out and teach baseball whenever the location felt right. One such location was in Mozambique, at a rural school where they camped overnight.
When that happened, it ended up that I was invited to Kiowani Secondary School.
Halfway through their journey, Jim received an email from a friend in New York whose wife teaches there. He told Jim that he was invited to Kiongwani School in Kenya to start a baseball program. That invitation came from Jude Dambuki, the former headmaster at Kiongwani School, who was then teaching at a private school in New York. On day 64 of their 100-day drive, Jim and Cheryl pulled into Kiongwani School and were immediately welcomed by the principal, Michael Mutie, deputy principal Ben Zioka, and games master Joseph Wambua.
I was most welcome to introduce the game of baseball. And it was a lot like introducing internet back then. It was totally new, no one knew anything about it. And so they were very welcoming.
Those three men were instrumental in helping Jim promote the game of baseball in Kenya from its inception. Together with enthusiastic students, the seeds of baseball were planted firmly in Kenya. Over the next several years, the Baseball for Africa program expanded to 13 high schools in the surrounding county and the community areas of Kiongwani, Makueni County. Jim returned frequently to teach baseball, provide instructional clinics to coaches, and host an annual tournament among the competing high schools.
To me, this is more special than those brand new balls. This is all your interest in the game and how much you've done. So that's for your office.
Wow!
Each year, he would bring suitcases loaded with baseball equipment, uniforms, team bags, and trophies to all the schools. Sometimes he was accompanied by young men from the USA who assisted in coaching the students. Jim connected with George Kenothia from Kambeta, Kenya, who not only became Jim's friend, but was named president of Baseball for Africa in Kenya.
My name is George Washira, president of Baseball for Africa.
The participating teams will get certificates, including our brothers and friends. So thank you so much. See you there. Mine is just organized.
George and his son Tyson have become leaders in teaching and promoting baseball throughout the country on behalf of Baseball for Africa, and they also help distribute equipment as needed to all the teams. Along the way, over the past 20 years, other baseball introductions were found throughout the country, some promoted by missionary groups, Japanese volunteers, and coaches, and others. Over time, it was decided to expand the Baseball for Africa, hosting an annual National Baseball Showcase tournament. The idea was to bring more players together to experience the competition and the reward of baseball, and to share information on coaching and player skills and development. What started out humbly with one school in 2004 has now grown to hundreds of baseball players and teams, from young people from under the age of 12 to adults, including both men and women. Former students from the original 13 high schools who played baseball have become the adult players, coaches, and principals of schools that are now introducing baseball programs at their own schools. Darius Wawero was one of the earliest and talented young players from Kiongwani, a pitcher, and he spread his talent for pitching to many other schools, including the Grandsons of Abraham Academy in Mombasa. The sport of baseball in Kenya is now unstoppable. Partnerships with organizations such as Pitch In for Baseball and Angels at Bat from the USA. They bring equipment, donations from teams and other individuals, and they continue to provide needed equipment to keep the game growing. If We Build It organization has also made a huge impact by building a proper baseball field at the JKUAT University in Juja. Together, all of these efforts and more ensure that baseball will continue and to improve in Kenya and all of East Africa. As for Jim, Tamarack, and Cheryl, through Baseball for Africa, they continue to travel around the country and teaching and distributing equipment to start new baseball teams and replace worn and damaged equipment to establish teams. The seed that Jim Tamarack planted many years ago is now a full-grown tree with hanging fruit for all of Kenya to see, taste, and enjoy the beautiful sport of baseball.